Alright, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Rakakadash. No honors to the elders and apostles that taught me it's true. Alright, now, just want to get into a little short video on respect. Alright, now, this is Deuteronomy 32, and I'm going to start it. Just going to start at the top. Listen, you heavens, and I will speak. Hear, you earth, the words of my mouth. Let my teachings fall like rain, and my words descend like dew, like showers or new grass, like the abundance of rain or a tender plant. And I'm reading out the NIV, so just to let people know, I will proclaim the name of the Lord. Oh, praise the greatness of our power. He is the rock. His words are perfect, and all his ways are just. A faithful God who does no wrong, upright and just as he. They are corrupt and not his children. To their shame, they are a wrapped and cooked generation. Is this the way you repay the Lord, you foolish and unwise people? For he's not your father, your creator, who made you and formed you. Remember the days are old and consider the generations long past. Ask your fathers, and he will tell you, your elders, and they will explain to you. All right. So this is letting you know that the elders were going to explain stuff to us. It's going to be man who know the past and is going to teach us the past. And when the Most High give the nations their inheritance, and when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the people according to the numbers of the sons of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, and Jacob is his lots, his inheritance. So this is letting you know that this truth was meant for Israel. Now, as you can see, you say that seventh verse. Remember the days are old, and consider the generations of long past. Ask your fathers, and he will tell you, your elders, and they will explain to you. All right, so we should remember to always, give a certain level of respect. And here's for the man who came before and laid the path that we are on. All right, now I know it's been a lot of things coming up, and the Lord is still revealing things through the Spirit. All right, so the Lord is still definitely still breaking things down, but we'll still to give honor to the man that the Lord set up, who taught us the law in the scriptures to allow the Spirit to thrill in us. All right, because these men haven't came and taught us this law, we wouldn't have this Spirit to where we can break these scriptures down now. All right, so you gotta show respect for it and because of it. All right, now this is let me see real. My ain't used this Bible app once, I believe. Trying to remember, it's been a while since I used it. How you navigate this one? Okay, everything at the bottom. All right, all right. Let's see. This gonna go home. All right, now let's get Hebrews the 13th chapter. All right, and see you all sure ribbons though, and as man, the only new commandment the Lord gave was for us to love one another. All right, this is Hebrews 13. Keep on loving one another as brothers and sisters, and do not forget to show hospitality to strangers. For by doing so, some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it. Right? Because some people, are angels. Are sitting here to test people and see how people are going to respond to whatever they do. Continue to remember these in prisons as if you were together with the prison, and those are mistreated as if you yourself are suffering. So pretty much, to remember those that are in prison. And we know at Casa how Babylon the Great is set up. I'm pretty sure we got members of the elect sitting behind jail cells right now. All right, so it's in to remember people who going through things and keep them in mind. All right, marriage should be honorable by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. Yahweh will judge the adulterer and all sexual immorality. All right, so you know that. Keep your lives free from the love of money, and be content with what you have, because Yahweh has said, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." And we know the love of money is been the downfall of many men. Be honest, the love of money, I believe, is the only reason Sakari got the problems they got. They chase money too much, and it kind of draws them off the path of just staying true to the Lord. So we say with confidence, "The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" Remember your leaders who spoke the word of Yahweh to you concerning the outcome of their ways of life. All right, so this is telling you to remember your leaders. All right, so that is very important to remember your leaders. All right, because they spoke this word to you. All right, Yahushua Mashiach is the same yesterday and today and forever. All right, be not carried away by all kinds of strange teachings. It is good for our hearts to be strengthened by grace. All right, not by eating the ceremonial foods, which is of no benefit to those who do so. All right, so pretty much, staying away from all them pagan holidays and things of that nature. We have an altar from which those who minister at the tabernacle have no right to eat. All right, so you gotta remember that what you've been given. Everyone uh, ain't got the ability to get it. All right, the high priest carries the bloods of animals into the most holy places as a sin offering, but the bodies are burned outside the camp. So this is letting you know it's gonna be man, who came forward, you know, and pretty much who brought this law to us, because we needed the law, you know, who ain't gonna make it, inside the holiest of holy places. All right, their bodies are gonna be burned outside the camp. And so Mashiach also suffered outside the city gates to make the people holy through his own blood. Let us then go to him outside the camp, bearing the disgrace he bore. Right? For here we do not have an enduring city, but we are looking for the city that is to come. All right, so we're looking for Jerusalem for the future, for what's going to happen in the future, not for what's going on right now. For here we through Yahushua Mashiach, through Yahushua. Therefore, let us continue to offer to Yahweh a sacrifice of praise, the fruit of lips that openly profess his names. And do not forget to do good, to share with others, for sure sacrifice God God is pleased. So Yahweh is pleased with our sacrifice for working, and don't forget the others, all right? So that is what we are to continue to do to move forward in this truth. Now, get, but at the same time, respecting the man who came before us. This is 2 Samuel chapter 1. Alright, and I was guess I should have wrote this down. Alright, this is how David felt about the man who brought him about King Saul. David said to the young man who brought him the report, "Where are you from?" "I am a son of a foreigner of Amalek," he answered. And David asked him, "Why weren't you afraid to lift your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed?" Then David called one of his men, "Go and strike him down." So he struck down and he died. But David said to himself, all right, This is the respect that David had for King Saul, the man that came from before him. Your own mouth testified against you when you said, I killed the Lord's anointed. And David took up lamentation and concerning Saul and his son Jonathan. And you know, this man came to David and he told him that he killed King Saul so to put him out of his pain because he was already dying. So he just, helped finish him off. But for doing it, for touching the Lord's anointed, David had this man put to death. All right, so that is how important it is to pay homage to the people that came before you, because all the people that came before you, even though they might didn't get the whole thing, they were all anointed by Yahweh to bring forth and teach this truth. All right, this is Leviticus chapter 19, and I believe is verse 32. All right, stand up in the presence of the age, show respect for the elderly, and and reserve your Yahweh. I am the Lord. All right, so pretty much, pretty much, this is telling you, that not to disrespect, the older man. All right, all right. So that is a key, showing respect to your elders. Now, this is First Peter chapter 5, and I'm gonna get. I guess I just start at the top. To the elder among you, I pray as a follower, elder, and a witness of a Mashiach suffering, who also will share in the glory to be revealed. Right? Be shepherds of Yahweh, flock that is under you. Watch over them, not because you must, but because you are willing, as Yahweh wants you to be. All right, so pretty much you're supposed to watch over the man that are under you because you are willing, not because it's required of you. All right, not pursuing dishonest gain, but eager to serve, not not lording it over those entrusting to you, but being examples to the flock. All right, so this tell you leaders to be an example to the flock. All right, so if you take on the title of elders, you are supposed to be the one that is setting the example. All right, and when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away. In the same way, you who are younger, submit yourself to your elders. All of you. So people who are newer to this knowledge of this truth, you say submit yourself to your elders. All of you. Clothe yourself with humility toward one another, because Yahweh opposes the proud but shows favor to the humble. So you should always humble yourself. All right. And cast all your yeah. I just want to know if you got my text message, because we're not getting judged until like 10, 11, like around that time frame. And I didn't want you to come in here and not see me sitting in here because, yeah, it's packed. Okay. Well, I'll call you in a minute. Okay. All right. Salakia for that. All right. Now, in the same way, you who are younger, submit yourself to your elders, all of you. Clothe yourself with humility toward one another. Yahweh opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Humble yourself therefore under Yahweh's mighty hand, that he might lift you up in due time. All right. So pretty much we are always to show respect to the man who came before us. Because the spirit that's dwelling in us, we wouldn't have it if it weren't for this man, for these men that came before us. All right. And that's something that you gotta remember. Yahweh used them to instill in us what we needed for us to have the spirit. All right. Now, this is First Timothy, and I'm just going to end this one with this. Chapter 5, and I'm going to start at the top. Do not rebuke an older man harshly, but exhort him as if he were your father. Treat your younger men as brothers. All right. Yeah. Older women as mothers and younger women as sisters. We're absolutely purity. All right, so this is telling you how you are to treat, you know, your fellow people in this truth. All right, this is how we are to treat them, and you know, you are supposed to show reverence. You know, and that's like going into the story of Job. Can't really ain't gonna put it up right now, but when the younger man he let all the three older men speak first, even though what they said was wrong, and then he spoke. All right, because that is what you do. You give respect to the elder. You let the elders go first, and then if you got a response to the Lord put on your heart, you give it then, but you give it with respect. And that's what we seen in the book of Job when the younger man spoke last to give Job his advice. And he was the one who came with the right advice, but he gave respect to the elders first. So it's very important to remember in this thing to always respect the man that came before you. Uh, they are the reason you can understand. They are the reason we got this truth, and they are the reason the Lord is dwelling with you. And I know it's aspects that the Lord is beginning to opening up that a lot of these men can't see yet. But still, you wouldn't even have this opening up to you if it wasn't for these men. So I always show respect. And with that, I'ma say Shalom.